남아미다 부츠나만다 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 부츠나만다.
Well, good morning, and I'd like to welcome you all in person and online. This is our very special All Life Forms Memorial Service for the year. Last night we had our monthly memorial service for friends and family that passed away in November, so it's kind of nice the very next day we're going to reflect on our pets and animals that have passed away over the past year. So just like at Shutsuki, we'll have a reading of the names of the pets that have been submitted to OCBC. We will place that on the altar out of respect. Then Reverend Wanderer will chant the SANBUTSU, and the good news is there are some service books out now. I've made up my own notation. That weird little 33 up there means the page number. I've invented that. I hope it catches on. The other thing is we also have the charcoal lit for Oshoko. Then we will have a musical offering. We will read the Golden Chain on page 8. I will give a Dharma talk about All Life Forms Memorials. We'll close with the Golden Chain, and then we will have announcements. So if you could join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu. All Life Forms Memorial Service 2021. Yoshi, cat. Charlie, dog. Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. Chip and Bluey, tadpoles. Chewy Coconut, dog. Mushu, dog. Mini-Me, tuxedo cat. Yume, a rescued Akita. Bean and Hachi, both dogs passed away this past year to this owner. Both Bean and Hachi passed. Holly, dog. Simba, a dog. Bun Bun the rabbit. Bessie the cat. Pookie Sadakane, Labrador retriever. Kookie, a Jack Russell Terrier. Chestnut, a guinea pig. Purr, a Siamese cat. Zuby, a dog. And Buttercup, a guinea pig. Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu. Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu, Naman Butsu.
人徳無量空憤広大知恵人妙光明一層神道大仙願が作物在所可動精進未不下脱不正上位解任精進如是三昧知恵以上五世特別運用志願一切空腹一切大安下死物百千億万無量大小修行五者供養一切使徒諸仏不如愚道検証不逆非如五者諸分世界無不可へ無種先導光明師匠遠視小国如是精進偉人難量量が差別国土大五種奇妙道場超絶国領内音任務闘争がと愛民道断一切実法心熱少女意図が国経楽安穏個物神妙是が心象本気象所欲実法生存知恵下上領子孫知が信用軽量心死食毒中がよ精進人中 Namamida, Vutsinamanda, 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 Namanda, Vutsinamanda.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. It's so nice to have more people in person where we can chant together. So, kind of because I was thinking a lot about animals for All Life Memorial Service. They're so gentle and kind to us, and I think they help teach us to have compassion. So, one of the songs I really enjoy is What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. And it's not something to be taken lightly. This is by two of our members, Stacy and Eugene, and they are in the audience right now to watch themselves. This was first written by Nick Lowe in 1974, and it's most famously known for the cover by Elvis Costello in 1979.
As I walk through this wicked world, searching for light in the darkness of insanity, I ask myself, is all hope lost? Is there only pain and hatred and misery? 'Cause each time I feel like this inside, there's one thing I wanna know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? And as I walk through these troubled times, my spirit gets so downhearted sometimes. So where are the strong, and who can be trusted? And where is the harmony? Because each time I feel it slipping away, there's one thing I wanna know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Cause each time I feel it slipping away, there's one thing I wanna know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? We miss you, everybody. Namo Amida Butsu.
Very much, Eugene and Stacy. I was welling up a little bit up here, and I got a little bit of goosebumps. It's a really thoughtful song. And we got a comment on our YouTube channel. Somebody posted a comment after they saw her perform this for the first time on one of our services, and they said they really loved the performance. They thought Eugene was fantastic, and they said they picked up on a Stevie Nicks vibe from Stacy. So that's always a huge compliment to be compared to Stevie Nicks. So next, following this theme of gentle and kindness, I would like to put our hands together and read the golden chain. I'm a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. May I be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. May I think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. So I chose this because whenever I read that line, to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself, I always think of animals. And I took a personality test a while ago, and I came up with the personality trait of being an advocate. And they probably say this to everyone, probably all the different personality traits, they say this, but they said it's rare. Advocate personalities are kind of rare. But that means like I only got in fights in high school when I was protecting somebody from a bully. So I have a tendency to want to, maybe sometimes too much, but to take care of animals and keep them safe, and they keep me safe, is something very important, I think. So today is All Life Forms Memorial Service. We have it once a year. And last year, on February 2nd, I did a class in the social hall. It was 2020, the meanings of movies. And that was like the last thing I did almost before COVID hit. And I tease my family that I only read newspapers when I'm in them. That's how big my ego is. So people say, have you read The Wheel of Dharma? I'm like, well, am I in it? And they go, no. And then I'm like, yeah, I didn't read it. So they had a picture of me in here teaching that course, which was really nice. This is Rafu Shimpo. This is the English edition. I believe there's a Japanese edition as well. And it seems like, from what I can figure out, is the Japanese version comes out like in January, and then the English version seems to come out the next month, maybe in February, because it takes time to translate. And so I looked at this, and I hung it in my office, of course. And then right down below here, I noticed this wonderful poem. I think it's called Toto, and it's by Jeannie's Lamp, by Jeannie Nakano. And I thought, I didn't discover this until 2020, when it was too late for me to be scheduled for All Life Forms Memorial. But this woman wrote this wonderful, almost haiku-style poem about her dog that was passing away. And so she wrote this it came out in the January Japanese version of 2020. Then it came out in English in February. I noticed it late. But then her dog actually passes away in October 2020. So I've been waiting to give this Dharma talk for at least a year or more. I wanted to share this poem with you. But then something else happened in our family. Our dog, one of our dogs, it's actually my son-in-law my son Teague, my daughter-in-law Amber, we read his name, Charlie, King Charles Spaniel. And he's cavalier. I like they throw in cavalier. He was very cavalier. So I wanted to share some of our experiences with Charlie, and then I'd like to close with this wonderful poem from the Rafu Shimpo. So first I wanted to start off, I have an animal shrine in my office. One of the Girl Scouts gave me this little bowing fox. It's on the right and the left. One of them is the original. She gave me this little bowing fox in a box. And I thought it was so wonderful to have animals do gasho. And then I noticed on the box there were like 5 other animals bowing. And I thought, I only got the fox. I only got the fox. I didn't get the other animals. So I went to Reverend Wandra, and we went on eBay Japanese, and we were able to find a bunch of these on eBay. And I guess there's like 6 or 7 different editions, right? There's hippopotamus ones, there's zebras, but I told Sensei, I've got to get the one with the fox. So we were able to get the fox. So I got a whole new set of a fox, a penguin, that's my wife's favorite animal, an otter, I think a whale, a cat, and then of course my original fox. And then the big animal in the middle, I got that from my wife. You may not know who that is, but you may have heard of it. That's the Dalai Lama. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. So animals are very important to me. So I wanted to share with you, this is my dog. This is me, actually. This is Madigan. I've talked about her before. She is a schnoodle, a schnauzer poodle mix. And they say that, I don't think this is true, but they say poodles are a little persnickety. They're super smart. And schnauzers are very friendly. So you tend to get a dog that's doesn't rub your face and how smart they are and is nice to you. So this is Madigan. She loves to have her stomach scratched. And, you know, she's 12 years old. My wife and I think she's hard of hearing, but she won't come to me, so I think she's deaf. But then I go to her little snack jar, and I open it, and then she rockets out of nowhere. So I think she can hear. I think she's faking. But one eye went cloudy. So, you know, she actually fell in the pool the other day because she couldn't see. So we had to save her life. So this is one member of the trio. And this is a picture of my daughter-in-law, Amber. This is like 12 years ago. So this is Charlie, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, as a puppy, a little puppy. And I found out that he's fairly rare. I guess most Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, it's a four-name dog. They really must be special. He's a ruby Cavalier. Usually they're brown and white and beige. So I guess he's very rare. And then Amber's very, very into the environment. Everything at her house is non-disposable. She has special kind of toothpaste, and she rescues dogs. So she worked in Wilmington as a PA, and there was this black dog in front of like Albertsons or Stater Brothers, and it was homeless. And she saw it every day, and finally she took it home. And they named it Willow because the office she works at is on Willow Street in Wilmington. And they washed Willow, a girl dog, and she wasn't black. She was just that dirty. So she was actually white. And to be nice, they took her to the vet to see if she was chipped. And she was very damaged and very scared and nervous and had a lot of anxiety. And they were trying to do the right thing, but I guess the pound or the animal shelter had to keep her for like several weeks to try to track down the previous owner. So this was very hard because Willow completely freaked out because she's in a cage and she's used to being on the street. And they would go and visit her, but that made it even worse because it was like separation anxiety. So after about a couple weeks, Amber and Teague were both working as physician's assistants, and he was sprung. He was free to go home. And so one of Amber's friends rushed over there, and they grabbed him, and this is him sticking his head out of the window, yelling freedom. So this is when they officially were able to adopt Willow. And Willow's a real character. He's scared of horns, I think I've told you, probably from car horns on the street. So I like to watch ESPN, and I watch Around the Horn, and they have a foghorn every once in a while, and I forget, and I'm watching it, and then Willow flies onto my lap, shivering and shaking, and I have to like strategically mute Around the Horn all the time. Fireworks don't bother her that much, but it's horns that are a big trigger for her. So we have 3 dogs now, and they're not really super close as friends. They don't play a lot together, but they hang out a lot. They're like the 3 Musketeers. So this is at our sliding glass door, Madigan, Willow, and Charlie. And they have 3 very different personalities. So they're always practicing physical distance, I think, during the COVID pandemic. And you know they lie in a certain way, so the mouths are always facing the front door. Like dogs, they position their mouths so they're always protected. So this is at my son's house and daughter-in-law. They have a lot of sleepovers. This is them waiting for a treat. This is my kitchen. And here they're being fed by my son in his scrubs. And Charlie is very food centered. He's food obsessed. So I thought this was kind of funny. Charlie's an excellent watchdog. He's on guard all day long. He never takes a break. And he's always waiting to be fed. And he's so food obsessed that we have to put him in the garage and close the door and feed him. He'll try to eat the other dog's food, or he gets mad if you get near his food. So I thought this bag was really good. Protection, solutions, saving my masters. So this is Charlie waiting to be fed. And then this is Charlie guarding. So, he's always guarding the family. He always patrols at night. You always feel safe. I always feel safe when I sleep better when Charlie stays the night. And I've mentioned before, we have those motion detector lights in our house. So if you get up to go to the bathroom, you can see where you're going and you land properly. It's kind of funny. We'll be sleeping and the lights start going on around the house. And Linda's like, what in the world is that? And I go, I think Charlie's, going around the perimeter, making sure everything's okay. The other thing we have is a tortoise, a small tortoise. He's not a desert tortoise. I've looked it up. It's some kind of, Russian. There's a lot of different kinds of tortoises besides just California tortoises. He's not growing anymore. He's about this big, and he's very aggressive, and he bites. And Willow's obsessed with him. And they constantly chase each other and fight, and we have to pull them apart a lot. So the turtle's hiding under this ceramic statue, and I think he thinks it's his mom, right? Our little tortoise, I think she thinks this is her mother, and she digs a hole underneath. So Siddhartha's underneath this big ceramic tortoise, and Willow wants to come out and fight. So there's Siddhartha. He's very mean. He's not nice. He's really not a nice. We feed him and we love him, but he's very, very aggressive. And he's very aggressive. So when Siddhartha comes out and we're not paying attention to Willow, they get into this fight and they bite each other. And I'm afraid Willow's going to bite his head off, or Siddhartha's going to bite Willow's leg. And this goes on for about 5 or 10 minutes. And one time, Linda and I were distracted, and we didn't come to the rescue quick enough. And it was really amazing. Charlie was always aware. He was monitoring the situation. And after about 10 minutes, Charlie was like, all right, we're done. We're done with this. And he got up and he ran over and he took this really mean turtle and immediately just flipped it on its back and put his paw on his chest and was like, we're done here. Like, do you understand me? He's just an amazing watchdog. It's animal behavior that's really amazing. And whenever animals do something amazing, we tend to say, oh, that's instinct. And I find that irritating because we could write off every amazing thing they do as instinct. And I don't think that's true. So Amber and Teague were waiting for their child to be born. And this is also when they got married. So before they got married on 9/19/20, they took this picture, and I guess it was around Christmas time, 6 months notice, to save the date. So it says, our humans are getting married. And then, a long time after they got married, luckily, Amber became pregnant. And this is Charlie protecting the newborn baby, or the to-be-born baby. So somehow, Charlie knew that there was a little baby in there growing, and that Amber needed extra protection. And so I think it's funny how he kind of puts his elbow on her stomach. And it's really cute. I have another picture where he's starting to go to sleep. So he did this for 9 months. He knew something was up, and he was all in. And the other dogs were kind of oblivious, but not Charlie. And then we took this picture at our house when the day Torin was being born. Of course, we were watching their dogs. There's Maddie in the middle with her gray eye on the right, our left, Willow, and there's Charlie. And Charlie, in this picture, he looks a little tired. he was starting to have heart problems and breathing problems, and he was taking a lot of medicine, but he was still guarding and he was still protecting even though he didn't feel well. And then I wanted to show you this picture. This was very near the end of his life. This is like the best day of his life as he was nearing passing, but we didn't know it. So he had an enlarged heart. He had trouble breathing, but this is Charlie living his best life with his head out the window. He was fearless. And then this is the picture that makes me cry. I was at church, I think it was on a Friday, and we got a call that something was wrong with Charlie. Every morning when he woke up, he would dive off the bed and go demand to be fed because he's food obsessed. And this one morning, he just wouldn't get off the bed. He just didn't get up. And they knew something was wrong. And they're not sure exactly what happened, but he might have had a stroke. And so he couldn't walk. He couldn't sit. He couldn't eat. But guess what he still did? He still went to his spot and looked out the window to guard the family. So this is where he goes. He sits. So he's dying, and I think he knows it. But he goes to the window, and he protects the family, even though he's about a day away from passing away. So, this is an instinct. This is an animal's love for his family, and it's selfless love. He thought about his family and not for himself. So, he can't go to the bathroom, he can't eat, he can't drink water. And there's nothing we could do for him but just be there for him. And ultimately, he had to be put down after a couple days. And so my son and Amber, they had his ashes, they had him cremated, they had a urn made for him. There's that picture. I guess I didn't realize that. There's the picture with him hanging his head out the window. And these are his ashes. It's a homemade altar to Charlie on their mantle in their living room. And so he's always there. We always see him. And then the other thing they do now that's quite amazing is they made a paw print out of his paw as a keepsake. And so I found that very touching. And then Charlie was alive for Torin, I don't know, maybe a month. And he guarded Torin in utero just like he did in person. So as a newborn, Charlie protected Torin. But with Charlie gone, Willow was left to do. He kind of stepped in and tried to fill the role of Charlie. And Willow was kind of distraught and sad for quite a while. And then the other thing happens, with iPhones, they send you pictures of what happened a year ago. So on November 1st or 2nd, I think everybody in our family, this popped up on our, and this is Willow and Maddie also guarding Torin together without their friend Charlie. But this picture popped up on our iPhones about a week ago. And it said, they said, this is what was going on a year ago. So it's kind of a eerie, we weren't sure what was happening. Our iPhone said, this happened a year ago. And it took us a while to figure out what that meant. Because we were like, no, Charlie didn't die a year ago. But this is a picture of Charlie from a year ago. And so he's kind of lucky in a way. He lived a full life. He passed away suddenly. He didn't suffer. So when I see this, I think about Charlie. And then I wanted to share the poem with you that got this all started, Toto, by, it's called Jeannie's Lamp. It must be this must come out regularly by Jeannie Nakano. This is her dog, Toto, with his tennis ball. So Jeannie Nakano, this was published originally in January of 2020 in the Japanese version. She wrote it in January 18th, 2020. And there's a photo by Jeannie of Toto. He's 6 years old on March 1st, 2020. So, he kind of looks like Toto, maybe from The Wizard of Oz. So I wanted to read you this poem she wrote for her dog. Dogs live like 7 human years for every one of their years. So, Madigan is 7 times 12. I don't want to do that right now. But at one time, me and Madigan were the same age. She, like I'm aging slower than her, and she caught me around 49, I think. We were the same age, and then she kind of has blown past me. So this is about having an animal that's so important to you, but they're on a different time clock than you are, and they're going to pass. So my old dog coughs and coughs. Don't throw him a ball because he can't catch it. How much longer will he be here? I can't help to think this way, yet still pray for eternity. He loves his walks. 2 times a day we venture. Stop, sniff, pee. 40 minutes around a block. No more pulling at the leash. Just like me, we're at the elder stage, except 7 times faster. His life expended. Reality can be so cruel. And then she wrote, Toto, our loving dog of 17 years, died last week on October 22nd, 2020. I haven't been able to write since. So I just wanted to share the deep emotional bond that we have with our animals. And I think they're amazing. It's something that should be cherished. They all have a personality of their own. They show their love in lots of different ways. I think they also help us communicate in a nonverbal way. They really help us read people's faces and hear tones of voice, because dogs can't tell you they're hurting. You have to look at their ears, look at how they hold their tail. You have to sense, and there's a deep kind of heart-to-heart communication that goes on between a person and their pet. And I think developing this and doing this with human beings, if we could learn that from animals and be able to take that across and take advantage of that in our communities, with our friends, if we could be empathetic and compassionate, and we could think about how others are feeling, I think it would really make the world a better place. And then there wouldn't be anything funny about peace, love, and understanding anymore. And we could all treat all beings who are weaker than ourselves with dignity and respect. So if you could please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So we'll close with the golden chain. I am a link in Amina's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. May I be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. May I think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo. So, I have an announcement. The first thing I'd like to say is I wanted to thank all the people that came to OCBC yesterday and helped us with our temple cleanup. We had about 200 people. The parking lot was jammed. It was really wonderful to see. So our campus is looking spick and span, and I could actually smell chlorine, and it really smells great. And it was extra hard because we didn't do it last year. So we had 2 years worth of cleaning to do. And then the other thing I wanted to mention for Sunday, November 14th at 10 a.m., we will have an online service only, pre-recorded on YouTube. That's when it will premiere. And it's called our Eitaikyo Special Service. And we are lucky to have Reverend John Iwahara from the Gardena Buddhist Church as guest speaker in both English and Japanese. So on that day, we'll have no in-person services on the 14th. Everything will be from home. After service, we will have our hybrid adult study, adult discussion on Zoom and here in the Hondo if you'd like to stay. We also have incense, charcoal burning if you'd like to offer incense. And I also have this up here for a reminder. I was going to use this for osanae on the altar, but instead I used apples and dog food bones. Those are dog bones. But they're in baggies to keep them fresh. And each one has a command on it, like stay or sit or roll over, but Maddie and Willow and Charlie will have none of that. And then I was thinking, I wished I could have brought Charlie's favorite food, but then I realized every food is Charlie's favorite food, so it doesn't matter. So we have lots of fresh, homegrown persimmons in the back, not for the YouTube people, but only the in-person people. So thank you very much.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda.